I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Karen, can you proceed with the roll call, please?
Sure. Chair Daniels,
Present?
Vice Chair Maxwell,
Here.
Board Member Howard,
Present.
Board Member Elters,
Present.
Board Member Hermosillo,
Present.
Board Member Bracker,
Present.
Board Member Peshlikai. Madam Chair, you have a quorum. You may proceed.
Thank you. Thank you to everybody for accommodating a virtual meeting today instead of an in-person. We apologize that we weren't able to make it up to Tuba City this month, but I know that we're working on another meeting in that district for next year, so appreciate everyone's flexibility and willingness to proceed here virtually. Floyd, any other board members want to have any opening remarks? All right, seeing none, Floyd, will you please proceed with the Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964?
Yes, Madam Chair. Pursuant to Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Americans with Disability Act, the Arizona State Transportation Board and ADOT do not discriminate on the basis of race, color, national origin, or disability. No person will be excluded from participation in, be denied the benefit of, or be otherwise subjected to discrimination under any Arizona State Transportation Board or ADOT program or activities. To assist in measuring the public's participation, we ask each individual to please complete an online self-identification survey, and the link to that survey is on the agenda. By completing this voluntary survey, ADOT will be able to determine who attends its public meetings and how the department can improve participation. The survey will also help ADOT fulfill federal reporting requirements. Thank you.
Thank you, Floyd. We'll move on now to the call of the audience. Looks like we've received 7 requests to speak so far. And we'll start with Kevin Schwab, and then on deck will be Robert Charles Barrett. For those of you who haven't participated in a virtual meeting with the State Transportation Board, we would like you to raise your hand, and Bryce will help you with the unmuting process as well. And you have a 3-minute time limit. Time will be kept by Floyd. So, Kevin, if you're in the meeting?
Hi, hello, can y'all hear me?
Yes, thank you, Kevin.
Fantastic. So, good morning, members of the board. Thank you for allowing me to speak. A number of you may have already heard comments from me over the phone related to the updates for carve-outs for single-rider alternative fuel vehicles like EVs or hydrogen fuel cell vehicles. While I understand that the federal government has not reissued any extensions for these types of vehicles pertaining to their access to these lanes, I came here today to urge the board to consider creating their own separate model, as is the route many states are having to do for other services and regulations previously handled by the Fed. Now, I just wanted to go over some reasons why this might be pertinent. First, there's a couple of environmental benefits. Obviously, EVs and hydrogen vehicles produce less emissions compared to traditional internal combustion engines. Allowing these cars in the HOV lanes encourages more people to switch to these vehicles and thus overall reducing air pollution and helping cities meet environmental goals. Oftentimes people bring up the initial waste created by manufacturing EVs specifically, but the long-term costs heavily outweighs this short-term mindset. Second, encouraging the adoption of alternative fuels, access to HOV lanes acts as an incentive for people to transition to these other forms of transportation, whether it be propane or hydrogen fuel cells for buses. Offering these types of perks can encourage the longer-term adoption for public transportation and the like. in the short term, offering these perks allows drivers to consider purchasing electric vehicles as a viable option, which can, again, accelerate the adoption in the long term. The last one I want to bring up is just the reduced congestion. Alternative fuel vehicles having access to HOV lanes alleviates congestion in the regular lanes, and allowing access for alternative fuel vehicles can help keep more cars off the main roads and can improve overall traffic flow. As a Phoenix resident, I've already noticed a change as people are experimenting with trying to drive in the regular lanes, and even the standard traffic has increased by 10 to 15 minutes with just this short-term introduction. That being said, I want to quick introduce a couple of solutions that I've seen. There are many, but I just want to bring up two today. California has their Clean Air Pass, which is an annual fee that drivers can opt in for. In our case, we already have the alternative fuel vehicle plate, so why not make that the equivalent for Arizona residents? The incentives for annual registrations have been removed already, and that additional flat fee could be added on top to give access to these lanes like a toll, while also supporting our general infrastructure. In Texas, specifically Houston, there are high occupancy toll roads intertwined with HOV lanes. Again, this is an opt-in solution for single rider vehicles to kind of pay to play with streamlined traffic. And the rebranding of our lanes would be a relatively simple solution to allow.
So Madam Chair, that has been the 3 minutes. That has exceeded the 3 minutes.
Kevin, we apologize for having to cut you off, but appreciate the information and would encourage you to send the board an email as well to provide us with that additional data. Thank you.
So,
And I do want to note that board member Pashlikai has joined us as well. Welcome, board member. All right, we will move to Robert Charles Barrett. If you could raise your hand so that Bryce can unmute you, and Edbert Little will be on deck.
Mr. Barrett, I have requested to unmute your line. If you are a call-in user, just a reminder, please press *6 to unmute your line.
Bryce, I see Bob there, Bob Barrett.
I have requested to unmute his line, but it's not unmuting it on his end.
Okay,
I
Bob will come back to you. If you can look for that unmute button or do a quick Google search. We'll move to Edbert Little with Mayor Nancy Smith on deck.
I have requested to unmute your line. Again, Edward, if you are a call-in user, please press *6 to unmute your line. You are now muted.
Good morning, Bob Barrett here.
Oh, welcome, Bob.
Sorry about that. I went from my computer to my phone. I had both on in case the first one failed.
All good. Please proceed
Very
with your
good.
comments. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. If I could get a little bit of grace on the 3 minutes, I have two projects I want to discuss in Lake Havasu City. One is a raised median project, 2.2 miles of intermittent raised median. That just
All I
got
got to do is
completed.
ask for grace.
Cost $2.8 million. We made it a month ago. Really, nobody likes it here.
Knock
But,
that down to 2.5 minutes.
The second is a SR95 repaving project that was completed in 2024. Why am I bringing it up here? Because I went through the process provided me and got the runaround to the point of needing to do a public records request for information that was very illuminating. So first, the raised median. The local MPO didn't know the details of why that particular option was chosen. So Lake Havasu's mayor had to ask ADOT for a copy of the safety study that prompted the design that was chosen. I'll get to that in a second. You put the medians over the yellow line in a lane of traffic that's already 2 feet narrower than the right lane. The speed limit on the road is between 45 and 55 miles per hour. Many people go 10 to 15 miles per hour higher. In this 4-mile section, in which 2.2 miles of intermittent medians were added, you ignored your own safety data, which the mayor asked for and received, which says, turn lanes in the raised median.
This webinar is being recorded.
Goes on to say 73% less likely to get in an accident. Well, the problem with that is you didn't actually put medians in the section of that road that has two-way traffic. You left that alone. And instead you put medians in the section that doesn't have any two-way left-hand turn lane. So I'm not sure why that happened, but it makes this safety information moot because it wasn't used in the section that was actually, the medians were actually put up. Next, the SR 95 repaving project completed in 2024, 50 miles of repaving. That was 15 years too late, but a good job was done with one very notable exception. This 50 mile, there are absolutely no center line rumble strip. None. 50 miles of road, and they didn't put in center line rumble strip.
Because it's a
This
residential
is over the
area.
same area as the raised median, in which $2.8 million was spent on only 2 miles from center line median. So I was told twice by ADOT that they are there. Then I was told that it was intentionally delayed because ADOT knew the raised median project was coming. That's not accurate. So I did a public records request for the project and found that, yeah, the center line rumble strips were included in the repaving project RFP to the tune of $175,000 for only a 12-mile stretch from Lake Havasu City to Interstate 40. Inexplicably, there were none included. No rumble strips, center line rumble strips were included in the very dangerous portion south of Lake Havasu City towards Parker. So my question, where are these rumble strips? They were never put down. I think we paid for them, or at least in the RFP. But they aren't on that road, and they were in the RFP. So if you could investigate that for me, I think that's a pretty important point to make, especially when that road is so very dangerous. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Edbert Little with Mayor Nancy Smith on deck.
And I did not see his name on the attendee list. We do have a call-in user, so I'm just going to remind everyone, if you are a call-in user, please press *3 to raise your hand and *6 to unmute. But I do not see Edbert Little's name on the list.
Okay, we'll move to Mayor Nancy Smith with Jeff Swan on deck and check back in with Edbert at the end.
Mrs. Smith, you are now muted.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, carry on.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Hello, Chair Daniels and ADOT State Transportation Board members and ADOT staff. I am going to be short and sweet today. I really am calling because I always want to make sure that ADOT staff and the ADOT State Transportation Board knows and understands the appreciation that the City of Maricopa has for all of their efforts on State Route 347. Just this past month, we had the pleasure of having Greg Byers and his project team come and explain what's going to be happening on State Route 347 and some of the unique plans that they have. And we were thrilled to host them and to have them come out and provide that information to us. So I always want you to know that we appreciate all of the work that's being done, and I just wanted to make sure to share that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor. Jeff Swan, you're up with Vinny Gallegos on deck.
Jeff Swan, I have requested to unmute your line. Mr. Swan, if you could please unmute your line.
star 6 if you're on a phone.
I see you're raising your hand, so it is going to be on the very left. There's a mute and unmute button if you're on your desktop, and like Chair Daniels said, star 6 if you're on your phone.
All right, Jeff, we'll come back to you. Keep looking for that mute and unmute button. Vinny Gallegos, you're up. And we will have Crystal Figueroa on deck.
Mr. Gallegos, I have requested to unmute your line.
Can you hear me?
We can now.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the State Transportation Board. I just want to, in the spirit of Mayor Smith, want to start out with gratitude also to Director Toth and her staff, and continuing just to engage on so many various areas. We recently had our Northwest District P2P process, planning and programming. Appreciate Jason James and all of the staff that joined in that very engaging opportunity to talk through our priorities and our projects. And then also want to really appreciate Lisa Danka through the AZ SMART program. We've been working very closely with her the last few months, really as we look, I know she's retiring soon, so really appreciate her time, talent, and energy that she's given to all of us through ADOT and through that process. For SIMPO, later on in the agenda, you'll have our first AZ SMART request, and really appreciate Lisa walking us through that process, appreciate being able to hopefully be able to take advantage of that program. It is our first attempt at it. I know many other municipalities, MPOs, COGs have participated in that. We're a little bit behind on that, but we're very excited for today the town of Chino Valley, which is one of our more rural areas, to really be able to take full advantage of a federal grant with Safe Streets for All. It's going to allow them to have their first transportation plan for the community, and to be able to have that assistance with the match really allows to maximize the federal grant opportunities. So we're very excited for our region, excited for the town of Chino Valley, and Madam Chair and members of the board, really appreciate your consideration in that. So again, thank you all.
Thank you, Vinny. We'll go to Crystal Figueroa.
Unmute your line. You are now muted.
Good morning. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. So good morning, Chair Daniels, ADOT State Transportation Board members, and ADOT staff. My name is Crystal Figueroa, Executive Director for the Yuma MPO. I want to thank you for the opportunity to speak today in support of the Yuma MPO AC Smart application. We are requesting $100,000 in state match reimbursement to carry out a regional comprehensive safety action plan and demonstration activity. This investment will benefit the cities of Somerton, San Luis, Town of Walton, Cocopah Indian Tribe, and the Yuma County communities, not including the city of Yuma's existing fiscal year 23 SS4A plan. The project will build directly on the 2019 YMPO Strategic Transportation Safety Plan with a renewed focus on identifying and prioritizing safety issues, developing crash reduction strategies, securing long-term federal funding to for implementation. There's also a compelling need. Between 2017 and 2021, the ADOT crash database recorded 137 fatalities across the region. 99 of those occurred outside of the city of Yuma, underscoring the safety gap in our surrounding communities. The project would include 20 warrant studies, engineering evaluations that will support applications for traffic signals and pedestrian hybrid beacons at critical locations. These studies are key to unlocking SS4 implementation and HSIP funding, with proven crash reduction benefits, up to 67% reduction in angle crash and 57% reduction in pedestrian crashes. Approval of the application today would enable YMPO to reimburse local match costs, advance the regional safety plan, and catalyze future project readiness. It empowers our smaller jurisdictions to provide viable safety structure improvements and build safety equity across the region. In closing, this is about fairness, safety, and opportunity for all communities in the Wine-Field region to proactively reduce fatal and serious injury crashes. We respectfully request your support to secure $100,000 in AC Smart Match, enabling this critical region planning and demonstration initiative to move forward. And before I end, also, I would like to thank the State Transportation Board members and their support for the naming proposal of the Gary Nye Memorial Highway in the Yuma region for US 95. Just let you know that we will be soon sending an invitation for that. Our save the date is November 6th, which is a Thursday, and we look forward to having some of you there. Thank you so much for your support.
Thank you, Crystal. We'll go back to Jeff Swan.
And it looks like he is unmuted, so Jeff, do you mind trying to speak?
Pardon?
We can hear you now, Jeff. Carry on.
Okay. Yeah, I went to the phone, of course.
All good.
Okay. Thank you for taking your time to listen. My subject is the Sonoma TI at I-17 and State Route 179. We've people have talked to the board about this interchange and provided technical data, and of which we can access. And we feel that this interchange desperately needs improvement. It's 20th century interchange operating at a 21st century level. It's one of the few left on I-17 that needs to be modernized. In fact, this one was one of the original ones constructed when I-17 was initially begun in the 1950s and 60s. The biggest problem we're having right now is we receive very little information from the department in regards of any effort that's been made since about 2010 in regards to this interchange. In 2010 to 2012, there was a DCR that was completed and recommended improvements to the interchange, and it fell by the wayside with budgetary limitations. We've been looking for any information since then to address the board and address the department to see where we can do what we can do to help out this system. Any help is appreciated at this point, and especially in regards to information where the project stands, whether it's ongoing as far as any studies go, or whether we have to restart, which is what I kind of fear, because I've got a lot of former professionals in the village of Oak Creek that are interested. Again, this is a TI that's generating like 7,000 vehicles per day on State Route 179, and we're operating a TI that was constructed as similar to I called our ranch traffic interchanges in the past. And again, thank you for your time. And if there are any questions, I'll entertain them now if I got time.
Thank you, Jeff. And to all of the individuals who spoke during communications from citizens. We are unable to respond directly to your request due to open meeting laws, but we will ask staff to please follow up with each of you individually as needed. So thank you very much for speaking today. That now moves us to agenda item 1, our director's report. Director Toth.
Good morning. So, a few updates to share with you today. Next slide, please. First up, you may have heard about our Gila Bend maintenance crew that rescued a woman last month from the canal that runs near their maintenance yard. This story definitely made some headlines. It's an amazing, heroic story. The woman had slipped and fallen into the canal before being carried by the current. She spent the night clinging to a tire to avoid being pulled under a portion of the canal that flows underneath the railroad tracks. And early in the morning, the Gila Bend crew heard her cries for help and went and created a human chain by linking their arms in order to save this woman. So this week I had the opportunity to meet with the crew and present them with Medal of Valor and awards, and as you can tell, it's I'm just so proud, and it just was such a humanitarian story, and they're amazing people for doing what they did and being reactive and proactive and saving a person's life. So greatly appreciate their work that they do every single day. So next slide, please. Next up, even though fall hasn't officially started yet, we're already talking about winter. So last month, more than 400 snowplow operators attended our ADOT's winter readiness workshop, and that featured training sessions, presentations from the Department of Public Safety, National Weather Service, and supporting our winter operations. Drivers learn plowing techniques, winter storm management skills in order to safely and efficiently manage our roads during those winter events. This was the first in-person workshop we've had since 2020. It was very well received. Everyone really gave an opportunity to see each other and to collaborate and to learn from each other. Next slide, please. So as you heard from Mr. Gallego, the P2P workshops have started to update the fiscal year 27 through 31 planning to programming process. As you know, it's crucial in providing a data-driven approach to investing those limited state dollars into transportation projects. Our district workshops started earlier this week, as you heard, and workshops for the Northwest, Southwest, and Central districts have been completed, and I know that there's one up next week in the Holbrook area and the Flagstaff area as well. So we look forward to those being completed by early October of this year. You board members are always welcome to attend those as well. Next slide, please. So talking about planning, let me tell you about a component that we're introducing to our long-range planning process. As we look ahead to identify the needs for the state's transportation future, we're going to be reaching out to our stakeholders, the public, on a listening tour that we're planning to kick off next month at the Transportation Policy Summit. So we really hope to accomplish a few goals with our listening tour. We want to foster an inviting format that encourages real conversations with community leaders and groups throughout the entire state. We want stakeholders to truly feel that they have been heard on their thoughts and how transportation connects us all. We also want to seek out and engage ambassadors from across the state who can act as advocates for transportation outside of just the ADOT team. It's important to get those people that can advocate for transportation into our future. And finally, we want this listening tour to help us really establish that state vision for transportation, really derived from the grassroots process. So if you're planning on attending the summit next month, we'll be hosting an open house on Wednesday and Thursday to kick off the listening tour. I encourage you to attend or at least stop by and pop your head in and hope that you'll be able to join us at some of the events, the listening tour events that will be happening across the state. So we'll keep you informed of when those are as they get scheduled. So with that, there's no legislative report this month as well, so I'd be happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Director Toth. I'll just request on behalf of the board, Floyd, if you could send us the details on the listening tour for next week and any other dates that have been scheduled, that would be great.
Yes, ma'am.
And then, Director Toth, it's my understanding that all laws signed by the governor go into effect. Is it next Monday?
I know it's soon. I don't. I'd have to look at the exact date. Yeah.
It is this, I don't know if it's Monday, but it is this week.
Yeah.
It's this coming week.
Great. One item. Any other questions or comments from our board?
I do have one for Director Toth, if I could. So when you schedule for the listening tour, are you going to try and get to schedule the whole year possibly, or the first 2 quarters in advance, so we can maybe rally citizens to attend as well?
Yeah, so our intent for the listening tour is to start in the November timeframe and go through February of next year. So at the Transportation Policy Summit, we're asking people to try to identify the best way to reach out within their regions. So if there's specific meetings that occur on a regular basis, or if there's, hey, everybody goes to this grocery store, we really want you to set up a booth at this grocery store. I mean, we're just trying to solicit from the stakeholders and how best to reach people within their region. So, Ms. Howard, if you have specific thoughts, definitely we'd love to sit down with you and be able to garner that and schedule accordingly.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Any other comments from board members? Okay. Thank you, Director Toth.
Thank you.
There is no district report this month, so we'll skip agenda item 2 and move to agenda item 3, our consent agenda. Does any member wish to have a item removed from consent? Okay, seeing none, is there a motion to approve our consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Board Member Howard and a second, I think, by Board Member Maxwell. Did I hear that right?
Yes, Madam Chair, that's what I think as well, yes.
Okay, I can't see everyone's faces on my screen, so.
Sam and I were competing for it.
Oh.
I think I got it there first.
Sam, you get the next one. All in favor by the board, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any board members opposed? Thank you. That is a unanimous vote for the consent agenda. We'll move on to agenda item 4, our financial report by Christine Ward. Christine.
Well, good morning, board members. Good morning, Chair Daniels. I have a very brief report for you this morning. Jeff, if you'll take us to the Highway User Revenue Fund to start off. All right, we're 2 months into the year. In August, we collected $148 million, and we are right within the targeted forecast. If you'll go on to the individual categories, not much to report there. We are, again, we're just running right into target zones, and the individual categories that are flowing into HERF, no significant issues or anything significant to report there. You'll go on to the Regional Area Road Fund, RARF. Now, you might look at this and think, oh my goodness, those economists, they are just, boy, those forecasters are just amazing. In this particular case, we cannot take credit because the actuals came in before the forecast, and so that's what you're seeing, just actuals, and that reflects also, let me put it this way, we got the total revenue flowing into RARF. We did not, which was about $66 million for the month. We did not get the categories, so if we go on to the next slide, you'll see that the overall 0% variance, but the categories were we didn't have those forecasts, so that is actual variance. If we go to the next slide, as we report out on the federal aid program, only thing I have to report here is we did get our August redistribution in. It was in the same amount that we had built the program in. It was $150 million is what we received, and $150 million is what we had built and counted on from when we built the original program. So well, that's wonderful. I'm glad we didn't get less. With that, I will be happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Christine. Any questions from the board?
Madam Chair,
Please.
it's not so much a question. Christine, I'll be sending you an email today. I'd love to be able to connect if you have any time on Monday. I'll be speaking on options for state infrastructure at the Roads and Streets Convention next week.
Absolutely, Mr. Maxwell. Will you be? You wanna? Should I? Are you going to send me an appointment?
I'll send you an email. We'll set a time on Monday. I'm pretty wide open. Thank you.
Very, very good, sir. Thank you.
Thanks, Ted. Any other questions or comments from the board? Okay, thank you, Christine. We'll move on to agenda item 5, our multimodal planning division report. And I think it's Matt who's presenting on this one.
It is. Good morning.
Matt.
This is an update on our tribal transportation efforts. Next slide. So on August 26th, the MPD Aeronautics Group and MPD Tribal Liaisons met with the White Mountain Apache Tribe DOT to discuss their White River Airport pavement management system, their airport capital improvement program, potential aeronautic grant programs for WMAT airport projects. Follow-up actions will be coordinated between the White Mountain Apache Tribe DOT and ADOT MPD Aeronautics, and this will ensure future eligibility for airport project funding programs. Next slide. The Hopi Tribe and ADOT Transportation Partnership. We have quarterly meetings to keep state and tribal lines of communication open and ensure follow-up actions are conducted to address issues impacting the state highway system and state transportation facilities. The ADART partnering office actually helps us out with these meetings. They facilitate the meetings and provide the meeting documents and discussion topics. Next slide. The Intertribal Council of Arizona Tribal Liaison Support and Transportation Working Group fiscal year contract 2026 was renewed. The goal of this project is to improve communication, consultation, and coordination between ADOT and the tribes in Arizona. Under this project, ITCA will provide assessment and advisement to ADOT on optimizing efforts of all parties in areas of tribal transportation safety, cross-jurisdictional agreements, tribal law enforcement support, tribal aviation, and tribal bicycle pedestrian opportunities. ITCA will also provide coordination and assessment of transportation programs and initiatives for ADOT to consider and revise as necessary to meet the goal of improving the quality of its relationships with tribes in Arizona. The first working group meeting is expected to be scheduled in December of 2025, and the project will be closed out in June of 2026. Next slide. As the director mentioned earlier, we have started our planning to programming workshops. The schedule is on the slide there, and tribal transportation officials and transportation stakeholder agencies have been invited to participate in the workshops according to the schedule that's shown. That's all I have for you. I'd be happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Matt. Any questions from the board? Okay, seeing none, we will move on to agenda item 6. This is our AZ Smart Fund program. Iqbal, are you presenting on this one?
Yes.
Terrific. Because we have 2 relatively new board members, and because we have 3 proposals today, I think we'd like the full presentation, please.
Fantastic. Yes. Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the board. I hope you all are doing well this morning. For record, my name is Iqbal Hussain. Today I will present 2 items, items 6 and 7, and I'll begin with item number 6. AZ Smart Funds program to the board for discussion and possible action. We have 3 new applications on our agenda today. The first application today is from Central Yavapai Metropolitan Planning Organization, or SIMPO, which is requesting $125,000 for match on the Safe Streets for All federal grants. The purpose of this project is to develop a safety plan and implement safety improvements in 3 school zones in Chino Valley. The location of the project falls into the municipality's 10K plus population category. The total project is estimated to be $625,000, and the required match is 20%, which is $125,000, and this is the amount they are requesting to cover their match. Finally, the application scored 50 points and ranked number 1 under the Muni 10K plus category. Next slide, please. The next application is from Navajo County, which is requesting $215,000 for match, also on the Safe Streets for All grants. The purpose of this project is to construct sidewalk along the 3 routes to improve safety and other improvements. The project falls into the county's over 100,000 plus funding category. The total project is estimated at $1,075,000, and the required match is again 20%, which is $215,000, and this is the amount they are requesting to cover their match. Finally, on this application, the Navajo County application scored 48 and ranked number 2 in the county 100,000 plus funding category. Next slide, please. The final application today is from the Yuma Metropolitan Planning Organization, YMPO, and the YMPO is requesting $100,000 for match on the Safe Streets for All grants. And the purpose of this project is to develop a regional safety action plan for the communities of San Luis, Somerton, Wellton, and Cocopa Nation. The estimated project cost is $500,000, $500,000, and the application scored 50 points and ranked number 1 in the county's over 100,000 plus funding category. Next slide, please. On this slide, the priority criteria scores and rankings for each applicants are recapped. All 3 applicants and their projects are eligible for the Safe Streets for All grants and AZ Smart Funds. Next slide, please. Here's the financial summary, which shows the current amount available in each funding category on the yellow line. And the next slide is our requested board action. Finally, moving on to today's requested action. Approve $125,000 to SIMPO, $215,000 to Navajo Nation, and $100,000 to YMPO from AZ Smart Funds. Navajo
Thank you,
County.
Iqbal.
Yes.
Any questions from the board on these 3 applications?
Madam Chair, I have a question.
Please.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, mine's real quick. Well, I just want to make sure that the funds that we see there, we do not have any more funds coming into this smart funding, correct? And did the legislature provide any additional funding to replenish the AZ Smart Fund, or is this all we've got left?
Madam Chair, Board Member Maxwell, at this point, we do not have any additional funding.
Okay, thank you.
I do think it's a worthy cause for next legislative session to be really strategic about additional funds. So I will just put that out there as a thought process we can explore in a couple months. Bruce?
Yes, in the Navajo County application, they didn't score the 50. Did they only receive 3 letters of support? Is that how that worked? Is that a scoring system?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, thank you.
Bruce, are you looking for additional letters? Tell us the insight there.
The insight is it's pretty simple to get 5 letters of support for a project if it's of high importance. That they were only able to generate 3 concerns me, but
What does our criteria say in our application? Iqbal, are we limited to page numbers?
So page numbers.
Number of sheets submitted sometimes?
Not really, no.
I'm just,
So this is
Okay.
the number of letter of support is maximum is 5. So in this case we received 3. So it will get 3 points.
Did it change the score?
got it.
who were the 3? Can we ask who the 3 letters of support were from?
Board member, I need
Do you
to
have
look
that?
into this, then I can get back to you.
Okay, thank you.
Within the packet.
Yeah, there should be.
Any additional questions from the board? Is there any desire to do these individually, or is everybody okay with us doing these in one motion? One motion, thank you. No problem. All right, with that, we will entertain a motion on the 3 grants.
Madam Chair, I move to approve these 3 applications for Arizona Smart Funds, including the application from Central Yavapai MPO, Navajo County, as well as the Yuma MPO.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Madam Chair, I
second. Okay, I think I heard Board Member Hermosillo first, so we have a motion by Board Member Elters and a second by Board Member Hermosillo, and ask for a vote. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, that motion carries unanimously. Thank you. We'll move now to agenda item 7, our TPAC items. Iqbal?
Thank you again, Madam Chair and the members of the board. Thank you for approving item number 6. Appreciate it. Now I will present item number 7, Priority Planning Advisory Committee action items to the board for discussion and possible action. Today we have 3 categories of projects to present: project modifications, new projects, and the airport projects. I plan to group all categories under one motion for board consideration. Next, we got it. So on this, I would like to present the proposed changes to FY 2026 through FY 2030 State Transportation Facilities Construction Program. Items 7A through 7D are project modifications. Next slide. Items 7E through 7H are new projects. Next slide. And items 7I through 7N are airport projects. And for board's consideration, the requested action is approve Priority Planning Advisory Committee items 7A through 7N.
Thank you, Iqbal. Any questions from the
Madam
board?
Chair?
Yes, please.
Yeah, when I look inside of item 7A and 7E in the package, they're the same package, the same project, the same tip number, same dollar chan, they're both establishing a new project. Is there a difference between 7A and 7E, or did they just get double inserted? Both the deck park tunnel to the I-11 split.
That was a Freudian slip. I think you meant the I-17. But we know we love the I-11 too.
Sorry, I've been working on talking to I-11 folks this week, so that's, yeah.
All good. We'll give them a minute
Yeah,
to look.
I mean, the everything that I can tell was identical.
Yeah, good catch.
Is it a different funding source? 'Cause I agree, why would we have 2 different?
7A is Deck Park Tunnel, 8,000.
So they should be under new projects, not under project modification.
Yeah.
Right.
So 7A is
seven,
correct.
7A is correct.
So would you like us to remove 7A then from the motion and just proceed with 7B through 7N?
Yeah. Yep.
I think so. 'Cause
Yes.
They look,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
it looks like it is redundant
That is correct.
to the actions.
So the requested action will be 7B through 7N.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions before we
Great
call for
catch.
the motion from the board?
Oh, that's it. What happened?
Board Member Peshlikai, would you like to consider, since I bumped you from the last motion? All right, we'll entertain a motion from any board.
I didn't realize that
yes.
I didn't unmute myself. Yes, Madam Chair, I move that we approve the projects in, from 7E and to 7B to 7H, Madam Chair.
If it's okay, would you consider for your motion, Board Member Peshlikai, moving all the way to 7N on that?
Yes, Madam Chair, 7B to 7N. I'm looking at the screen on the,
I know.
where we had, yeah, so.
There you go.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
No, thank you. We have a motion by Board Member Peshlikai. Is there a second?
I'll second that, and I appreciate seeing airport projects in there as well.
Yeah, especially after the
Absolutely, yes.
communications from citizens last month, where we got a lot of additional information on that. So thank you to staff for following up on that. Okay, we have a motion by Board Member Peshlikai and a second by Board Member Maxwell. For the board, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Thank you. That motion passes. We'll move to agenda item 8, our state engineer's report. Greg?
So thank you, Madam Chair, board members. Can you hear me okay?
We can.
Cool. So for item 8, we have 99 projects under construction worth $2.3 billion. 13 projects have been finalized in August, worth $186.5 million. And fiscal year to date, we have 26 projects that have been finalized. And Madam Chair, I can go through all the updates, or we can go ahead and skip down to item 9.
Let's go ahead and skip down. Thank you.
So we'll go to item 9. So this is new construction contracts. Thank you very much for approving the consent agenda. One item I'd like to that really stands out is our I-10 project, which is the most southern portion of the I-10 corridor that we have, and it came in a little under what we are, a little over what we were estimating, but by only 0.2%. So that was a very, very close one. We have to date, there's been roughly about $14 million that we have seen under the engineer's estimate, so we're actually doing good for contingency. So for item 9A, this is converting HBS lighting to LEDs on the 303 from Eudora Avenue to Sonoran Desert. This was has a low bid of $2,169,000. The state's estimate was $2,953,330, or a difference of $784,330, or a difference of 26.6%.
Greg, I'm gonna interrupt you. I apologize for doing so. I know that the board has reviewed all of these items and seen that. One quick question I have for you is, are we keeping overall trend lines and documenting maybe under and over bids, and then using that data to see if there's any patterns or consistencies we can examine?
We keep what we call our construction cost index, and we do that on all items within the bids. and we do that on a monthly basis, just for that reason, so that any adjustments, anything that we see on a trend line, we can take and make adjustments to our estimates to be able to do that. That's on the items themselves is how we do that, not on an overall cost for the projects. And Madam Chair, did you want to just do one for all the projects, or do you want to go ahead and go through each project?
I think doing one, unless the board has a different preference, look to them. Okay, I think everyone's okay with doing one. I'm very interested in the data component of the trend because things for so long were very consistently over our estimates, and now we're seeing such a mix, and I think I'm more curious in that. So let's maybe get off, take that offline and have some dialogue about how we can use some of the AI tools that exist as well to maybe create some patterns that would allow us to stretch those dollars. And we all know we need to continue to stretch. So.
Understood. Thank you. And we can certainly do that.
Thank you.
And Madam Chair?
Yeah, please.
There is one question I'd like to follow up. I'm good with voting on all of them as one, and I think I'm okay with them. I guess the only one that jumped out at me is the one that had to do with the traffic signals, item 9B, because it was significantly over, and is that again just the change in cost? I mean, we haven't seen traffic signals make this kind of appearance on our data for a long time.
So one of the biggest issues that we had on this is the cost of the signals themselves. One of the biggest issues that we have with signals and lighting is the production rates. This is a very long lead item, and so consequently when manufacturers get a backlog, the costs of the items start going through the roof. And this is something that has happened here.
All right, thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. All right, any other comments or questions from the board? If not, we can entertain a motion for items 9A through 9E.
Move to approve.
Thank you.
Second.
Board Member Bracker. Second from Board Member
Second.
Alzers.
Yes.
Got it. Thank you. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. That motion carries unanimously. That moves us to agenda item 10. Any suggestions for future board meetings? And I just have one. Look to the board if they have any as well.
Madam Chair, I don't have an item for the next board meeting, but if I may just comment on the idea of the listening tour. I love the idea. I support it wholeheartedly. And in conjunction with that, I would just offer the following. As we solicit input from the public related to transportation, I trust with all my heart that we will hear plenty about the needs. And if I may suggest, and this may be a moot point if it's already planned, but I suggest we solicit info related to needs as well as how we pay for them, ideas from the public, if nothing else, just to gauge their thought process and their understanding of how that all works. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam.
Madam Chair, if you don't, I do have
Please.
one if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Could we discuss the possibility of certifying cities and towns for self-administration on ADOT and federally funded projects? I know ADOT staff is very, very busy. And is there a method or a process that we can develop to help cities that have the manpower and what's needed to self-administer a project, to be able to certify them to do so, to pull some of the load off of ADOT staff and to expedite these projects?
So, Madam Chair, Mrs. Howard, yes, we'll put together, there is a program and a process for that, and we will present that in a future board date as soon as I can get the staff ready.
Okay, thank you, Floyd. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right, I'll just add that at one point earlier in the year, we had discussed having a study session as a board on the PPAC criteria as well as the data sources that exist. And I'd like to request the indulgence of both the board and staff if we could schedule a study session outside of our regular board meeting to go over those that criteria. I know we had an overview presentation at a previous board meeting, but to get us a little more in depth and understanding, I think we all have a respect for the process and would like to understand more being how impactful that is to the production of the 5-year plan. So both criteria and data sources is my request, and if any board member has anything else they'd like to add to that, I'm happy to entertain that as well.
Madam Chair, may
Okay.
I ask a
That's a
clarifying?
great idea.
Oh, please.
You said PPAC, and I just want to make sure, is that what you're seeking, or are you seeking the P2P process?
Sorry, thank you. Yes, P2P.
Okay.
That's what I was
Yeah, that's what.
Thank you. I apologize.
All these acronyms.
I know. Yes, thank you. I appreciate that very much. I did have the chance to be on our district call this week for a portion of it, and was just so impressed with the quantity of knowledge and information sharing and exchange that went on during that district meeting. So really appreciate Jason and all the team, Randy and others who I know those are a big lift, so well done.
Thank you.
Madam Chair,
Please.
if you could indulge me, I had the honor of having a meeting with ADOT staff in my introductory meeting to the ADOT board. I just wanted to thank all the staff members for showing up. It was really incredibly informative to me. And I'm still generating lots of questions for myself, and I'll be reaching out to Floyd with many of those. But I just wanted to thank staff for taking the time to meet with me.
Our pleasure.
You got your orientation in record-breaking time, board member Brocker. I think we're all jealous. I
You did.
got appointed to the board during 2020, so I had the very beginning, like right when COVID hit. So, well done. I think I had to wait a minute.
Madam Chair, your orientation has been your whole tenure on here. I don't think we had something separate with you. You learned as we went. That's what I remember.
I think you sat down with me, Floyd, in the office just for, an hour, but I think we had to sit like 10 feet away.
10
not
feet away,
6 if
right.
we were masks.
Masked up and exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. If there's any other comments from the board, please raise them now. Otherwise, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you.